Anakin Skywalker opened his eyes aboard the Jedi cruiser, breath sharp, heart pounding. Mortis was gone. The father, the son, the daughter, gone. But the memories remained. He remembered the darkness. He remembered kneeling as Darth Vader. He remembered the mask sealing shut as Padme died. And he remembered the voice guiding him there, Palpatine. The Jedi believed the Force had erased the events on Mortis. Obi Wan spoke of it as a strange dream. But Anakin knew the truth. It was no dream. It was a warning. He had seen the Clone Wars end not in victory, but in betrayal. He had seen the Jedi Temple burn. He had felt himself strike down younglings. The pain of it felt real, too real. That future was meant for him. Anakin stood slowly, staring out at the stars stretching across hyperspace. The Force felt different, now clearer. He sensed threads of fate pulling toward a single point. The Chancellor. Every fear Palpatine planted, every doubt about the Jedi, every quiet promise of saving Padme, it matched the path he had seen. Anakin's jaw tightened. If the future could be seen, it could be changed. He would not become Vader. He would not let Padme die. And he would not allow the Sith Lord hiding in plain sight to win. For the first time in his life, Anakin did not feel confused about his destiny. He felt focused, calm, dangerous. As Coruscant came into view through the viewport, its towers shining in the endless night, Anakin understood something chilling. The war was never the real battle. The real enemy was waiting in his office, smiling. And this time, Anakin Skywalker was ready to confront him. Sleep became the enemy. Each night, Anakin saw it clearly, Padme gasping for breath, her hand slipping from his, the cold echo of machines failing around her. He would wake before dawn, sweat on his skin, the sound of her final whisper ringing in his ears. In the original future, fear drove him straight to Palpatine. Now, it pushed him in the opposite direction. Anakin began to watch the Chancellor carefully, not as a friend, not as a mentor, as a suspect. He replayed every private meeting in his mind. Every subtle comment about the Jedi being holding him back. Every quiet promise about learning powers to stop death. It was too precise, too prepared. Palpatine had known exactly what to say. Anakin started testing the edges. During their next meeting, he spoke cautiously. "You once told me the dark side could save someone from death. How would a Sith learn such power?" Palpatine smiled, slow and patient. "Not from a Jedi." The answer was the same as before, but now Anakin heard the trap inside it. He expanded his investigation quietly. He searched restricted Jedi archives for clues about Darth Plagueis. He questioned clone officers about unusual executive commands routed through the Chancellor's office. He even reached out to Master Yoda, asking guarded questions about Sith manipulation. The pieces did not yet form a clear picture, but they were aligning. Anakin felt the Force tighten whenever he stood near Palpatine. Not warmth, not guidance, pressure, like standing too close to a storm. Then one evening, alone in the Chancellor's private office, Anakin sensed it clearly. A flicker of dark power unmasked for just a second. Palpatine turned slowly toward him. And this time, Anakin did not look away. The moment passed in the Chancellor's office. That flicker of darkness vanished as quickly as it appeared. But Anakin had felt it. It was the same energy as the sun on Mortis, the same cold hunger, the same shadow that had whispered to him about power. This was no accident. Anakin left the office calm on the outside, but his thoughts were racing. He returned to the Jedi Temple and accessed war briefings late into the night. Supply lines, battle outcomes, emergency powers granted to the Chancellor. He studied everything. A pattern emerged. Each major crisis in the war gave Palpatine more authority. Each victory somehow strengthened his control over the Senate. Even defeats created fear that pushed systems to beg for stronger leadership. It was too perfect. Count Dooku had once told Obi Wan that the Republic was under the control of a Sith Lord. At the time, it sounded like a lie. Now, it sounded like a confession hidden in plain sight. Anakin thought back to Mortis. The Father had shown him what he would become if he failed to control the darkness. But the Father had also warned him about imbalance spreading across the galaxy. This was the imbalance. Sidious was not just influencing events, he was orchestrating them. The Separatists, the Republic, the clones, both sides were feeding the same master. Anakin felt anger rise in his chest. Not blind rage, focused anger. Millions were dying in a war designed to give one man a throne. He understood something chilling. If Sidious controlled both armies, then exposing him would not just end a Sith. It could collapse the entire Republic. Anakin closed his eyes and made a decision. He would not face this alone. Tomorrow, he would tell Obi Wan Kenobi everything. Obi Wan found Anakin alone in the temple war room, staring at a hologram of Coruscant. "You asked to see me," Obi Wan said calmly. Anakin did not turn right away. His voice was steady but heavy. "What if I told you the war is being controlled from the inside?" Obi Wan frowned slightly. "Controlled by whom?" Anakin faced him. "The Chancellor." Silence filled the room. Obi Wan searched his former Padawan's face for doubt, for anger, for recklessness. Instead, he saw focus. Anakin told him everything. Mortis, the visions, becoming Vader, the Jedi Temple in flames, Palpatine's promises, the dark presence in his office. He did not hold back. When he finished, Obi-Wan walked slowly to the window overlooking the city. "The Sith have manipulated the Republic before," Obi-Wan said carefully. "But accusing the Supreme Chancellor is not something we can do without proof." "I know," Anakin replied. "That's why I've been gathering it." He activated the holotable. Reports of emergency powers extensions, military orders signed directly by Palpatine, records of secret communications traced near separatist channels. "It's all too connected," Anakin said. "Dooku told us a Sith controlled the Senate. We ignored it." Obi-Wan's expression hardened. "If this is true," he said quietly, "then the dark side has been closer than we ever imagined." Anakin stepped forward. "I won't let him turn me," he said. "But I can't do this alone." Obi-Wan met his gaze. "You're not alone." For the first time, the burden felt lighter. But as they stood there, neither of them sensed the subtle shift in the Force. Far across the city, in his private chamber, Palpatine paused mid-meditation. And slowly, he smiled. The council chamber was silent as Anakin finished his report. Mace Windu did not interrupt once. When Anakin revealed the final piece, the dark presence in the Chancellor's office, Mace's eyes narrowed. "If what you say is true," Mace said, "then the Sith Lord we seek has been sitting at the heart of the Republic." Yoda's ears lowered slightly. Clouded, the Force has been, but clearer now, it becomes. There was no vote, no delay. Mace Windu selected 3 masters and prepared to move immediately. This time, Anakin was not sent away. "You will come with us," Mace said firmly. "If he has groomed you, Skywalker, then your presence may force him to reveal himself." Night fell over Coruscant as 5 Jedi Masters entered the Chancellor's office. Palpatine looked up from his desk, calm as ever. "Masters, to what do I owe this visit?" Mace stepped forward. "You are under investigation for treason against the Republic." The air changed. Palpatine's polite smile faded. "So," he said softly, eyes drifting to Anakin. "You have told them." Anakin did not look down. He ignited his lightsaber. Blue light filled the room. "I know who you are," Anakin said. "Darth Sidious." The name echoed. For a brief second, the mask dropped. The kind face twisted into something ancient and cruel. "You have seen the truth," Sidious whispered. Red lightning exploded from his hands. The office erupted into chaos as the battle began instantly. But this time, Anakin did not stand frozen. He stepped forward, blade raised, standing between the Sith Lord and the Jedi Masters, and the future cracked wide open. Red lightning flooded the chamber. 2 Jedi Masters fell within seconds, thrown back by the sheer force of Sidious's attack. The windows cracked, the floor split. The office of the Supreme Chancellor became a war zone. Mace Windu advanced, blade locked against the storm. Anakin moved fast, faster than before. He remembered this duel. He remembered standing helpless as Mace gained the upper hand. Not this time. Sidious leapt across the room, his cloak spinning, lightsaber flashing crimson. He was no frail politician now. He was pure dark-side fury. "You were meant to be my apprentice!" Sidious roared at Anakin. "I choose my own destiny!" Anakin fired back. Together, Anakin and Mace pressed forward. Blue and purple blades clashed against red in a blur of light. The dark side screamed against them, but Anakin held firm. He felt the temptation, the promise of saving Padme, the whisper of unlimited power. But he had seen where that road ended. Mace drove Sidious toward the shattered window, deflecting lightning back into the Sith Lord's twisted face. The mask of Palpatine burned away completely. Sidious reached for the Force, not to fight, to command. Somewhere deep within the Republic's systems, a single phrase waited to be spoken. "Execute Order 66. Anakin sensed it. A ripple through the Force, like a trigger about to be pulled. With a sudden surge, Anakin severed Sidious's hand before the command could leave his lips. The lightning stopped. Silence fell. Sidious collapsed, wounded but alive. And across the galaxy, the clone troopers waited, but no order ever came. The war had just been cut off at its source. But as Jedi secured the fallen Sith Lord, one question remained. What would the Republic do when it learned the truth? The holoscreens in the Senate flickered with evidence. Intercepted communications, battle reports, and secret orders traced back to Sidious. Worlds paused. Senators gasped. Citizens whispered in shock. The war they had believed was a fight for freedom had been engineered from the shadows. In the barracks of Coruscant, clone troopers hesitated. Blasters hung loosely at their sides. The discipline drilled into them for decades wavered like a fragile reed in a storm. Captain Rex stared at his men. "Orders are orders," one clone said nervously. Rex shook his head. "Not this time. Not when the orders were never meant to protect the Republic." Elsewhere, Jedi generals found themselves suddenly in command of troops who no longer trusted the chain of command. Entire divisions refused to advance on separatist planets. Systems loyal to the Republic began questioning why their lives had been spent fueling Sidious's ambitions. Anakin and Obi Wan moved swiftly through the command centers, coordinating units that were still willing to fight, but even their strategy felt unstable. The Force trembled under the weight of doubt, fear, and newfound defiance. Every battle plan the clones had executed perfectly now seemed like strings pulled by an unseen hand. Some officers muttered about traitors, others about gods testing them. The war was not over, but the foundation had cracked. And at the center of it all, Sidious's influence weakened. The Sith Lord's reach had been absolute, but without obedience, even he could not force the galaxy to bend. From a distant command post, Anakin watched the fractured army, the galaxy, on the brink of chaos. He realized the cost of this revelation would not be measured in victories, but in trust, betrayal, and the lives that could still be lost. And as a new threat loomed in the shadows, one question lingered. Who would strike first in the war that Sidious had begun and left unresolved? The battle with Sidious had ended, but the echoes of lightning and shattered glass lingered. Anakin stood over the wounded Sith Lord, blade lowered, chest heaving. Coruscant's skyline glimmered through the broken windows, but the city felt different, fragile, uncertain, alive with fear and hope. The Jedi Masters gathered around, exhausted but resolute. Mace Windu's eyes met Anakin's. No words were needed. The young Jedi had done what he feared he could not: resist temptation, protect the Republic, and survive without succumbing to the dark side. Senators and commanders were already restructuring the Republic's leadership. Investigations into Palpatine's manipulation began immediately. Clone battalions were recalled, retrained, and given a chance to choose loyalty rather than obedience. Systems whispered about freedom, justice, and the possibility of a republic not controlled by fear. Anakin felt the weight of it all. The lives saved, the ones lost, and the invisible future he still could not see. The Force flowed differently now, balanced, not torn by darkness. He remembered Mortis and the visions of Vader he had carried. Those horrors were gone, replaced by clarity and responsibility. He realized that destiny was not something to fear, it was something to shape. Padme's face appeared in his mind, smiling softly, her voice a memory of hope rather than grief. Anakin exhaled, steadying himself. "I will not fail," he whispered. "Not now, not ever." But even as he spoke, a shadow lingered beyond the reach of the Jedi. Somewhere in the galaxy, new threats waited opportunists who had watched Sidious fall, ready to rise. And though the dark side had been cut back, it was far from defeated. Anakin turned to the Jedi Council, knowing one truth above all: the fight for balance had only just begun. Sidious was imprisoned beneath a Jedi temple, sealed behind ray shields and guarded day and night. But his silence was more dangerous than his lightning. Across the galaxy, news of his capture spread like wildfire. The Supreme Chancellor was a Sith Lord. The Clone Wars had been engineered. The Republic had been a puppet. Shock turned into fear. Fear turned into ambition. On separatist worlds, leaders scrambled for control. Without Sidious guiding them through Count Dooku, their command structure fractured. Some systems demanded peace talks immediately. Others prepared for retaliation, convinced the Jedi had staged a coup. Trade Federation fleets repositioned. Corporate alliances fortified their defenses. Old grudges resurfaced overnight. The war did not end. It mutated. In the Senate, emergency sessions lasted for days. Loyalists argued the Jedi had overstepped their authority. Reformists demanded a complete restructuring of the Republic. Whispers of dissolving the Senate entirely began to circulate. Padme Amidala stood at the center of it all, pushing for transparency and civilian oversight. She believed this was the Republic's chance to rebuild, honestly. But not everyone agreed. Anakin watched from the temple balcony as troop transports filled the skies. Clone commanders awaited new directives. Without Order 66, they remained disciplined but uncertain. Some clones asked quiet questions. What were we really made for? Anakin did not have an easy answer. He met with Captain Rex and other officers personally. He told them the truth. They had been created for a Sith war, but they could choose what they became next. That choice changed something. Units once bred only for obedience began volunteering for peacekeeping missions instead of frontline assaults. Others chose to stand down completely, waiting for a republic worthy of their loyalty. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the Outer Rim, something darker stirred. Separatist holdouts intercepted fragments of Sidious's hidden contingency plans. Automated shipyards activated without command. Droid foundries resumed production under encrypted protocols no living leader controlled. The Sith had prepared for failure. Anakin sensed it before the reports reached Coruscant. A disturbance not sharp like Sidious, but cold and scattered. A system designed to continue the war even without its master. Obi Wan joined him in the war room as holograms lit up with red signals across multiple sectors. "It seems," Obi Wan said quietly, The Sith built this war to survive their own defeat. Anakin stared at the spreading lights. If they moved too slowly, the galaxy would burn again. If they moved too aggressively, the Republic would fracture beyond repair. Balance was no longer about defeating a single enemy. It was about preventing chaos from filling the vacuum he had created. Anakin clenched his fist, feeling the Force swirl around him, calm but alert. Sidious had fallen, but his final move had just begun.